Good evening. It is time for today's tax talk. Excuse me. I am your host. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. It is Thursday, August 11th, year of our Lord 2022. And the IRS is out looking for some help. They're going to pass this new Inflation Reduction Act. Supposedly hire 87,000 new people, but the IRS is already trying to hire some people. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Won't you join us? Okay. I hit the exit instead of the entrance video. It's a little bit different. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us here today. The IRS is looking for some help. We're looking for a few good men, women, people. Should we say people? Whatever. But in the criminal division, and it's gotten a lot of press because of the way that they worded it, and probably because that they're looking to hire a lot more people, and as our title says, be willing to kill. That's what the IRS had said. So let's read the story, and we can. Okay, let's read the story and go from there. So here we go. So here's the story. IRS faces online uproar over special agent job posting requiring ability to use deadly force if necessary. IRS job posting said agents must be willing to carry a firearm and use deadly force if necessary. An online job posting for special agents within the law enforcement branch of the Internal Revenue Service. I don't know if you've also seen this, but I think it was Ted Cruz who was railing about this because the IRS just purchased $900,000 worth of ammunition. It's like, what are you doing with all that? What does the IRS need all this ammunition for? And there's some talk of a conspiracy on that, but it's causing, as Congress prepares to pass a spending bill that would greatly expand the federal agency, a link to the job posting for criminal investigation special agents appeared to have been briefly deleted on Wednesday, and I think it has been deleted again, following online criticism of the posting's language. I tried to go there, could not go there, though it reappeared back online after Fox Business inquiry to the agency. I have a story here, too, that it has been canceled. It has been removed. A key requirement for applicants is that they have been legally allowed to carry a firearm, and major duties include carry a firearm and will be willing to use deadly force if necessary, and be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments, according to the job posting. The requirement that agents must be willing to use deadly force if necessary drew heated criticism online, although the same language appears in job postings for other law enforcement agencies, such as the FBI. The IRS Criminal Investigation Special Agent job announcement continues to be open on USA Jobs and was not taken down. USA Jobs is where these positions are posted and where applicants are referred to in order to apply, an IRS spokesman told Fox Business. The announcement has been open since February 2022 and continues through December 31st, 2022. The uproar over the post coincided with criticism of the proposed expansion of the IRS under the Inflation Reduction Act. Always have to laugh when I hear that that's the name of the act, because it's a joke. Which includes an $80 billion boost to the IRS over a 10-year period, and more than half intended to help the agency crack down on tax evasion. And here's the tweet here. The IRS is hiring new special agents. Requirements include working a minimum of 50 hours per week, which may include irregular hours and be on call 24/7, including holidays and weekends, and carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Here it is. If passed, the money would go down to filling 87,000 IRS positions, more than doubling the agency's current size. The bill passed in the Senate on Sunday with Vice President Kamala Harris casting the tie-breaking vote. It now heads to the House for a likely vote at the end of the week. Senate Democrats projected that enhancing IRS funding would add an extra $124 billion in federal revenue over the next decade by hiring more tax enforcers who can crack down on rich individuals and corporations attempting to evade taxes. But Republicans warned the bill will fund an army of IRS agents to crack down on small business owners and lower income workers. Americans who earn less than $75,000 per year are slated to receive 60% of the additional tax audits expected under the Democrats' spending package, according to an analysis released by House Republicans. The analysis, which is a conservative estimate based upon recent audit rates and tax filing data, show that individuals with an income of $75,000 or less would be subject to 710,863 additional IRS audits, while those making more than $1 million would receive 52,295 more audits under the bill. Overall, the IRS would conduct more than 1.2 million more annual audits of Americans' tax returns, according to analysis. Another 236,685 of the estimated additional audits would target individuals with an annual income between $75,000 and $200,000. Democrats insist Americans paying less than $400,000 will not be targeted by agents hired due to the spending bill. In response to criticism about the expected uptick in tax audits under the bill, IRS Commissioner said Thursday that audit rates will not increase relative to recent years. The IRS did not immediately respond to Fox News inquiry on why the special agent's job posting was deleted. So here's a story, kind of more of a more favorable to the IRS. Yes, the IRS hiring criminal investigators that can use deadly force, but here's some context. The IRS would be poised to get $80 billion over a decade if the Inflation Reduction Act passes. The Internal Revenue Service's operations are catching heat as it looks increasingly likely the tax agency is bound for an $80 billion tax boost under the Democrats' proposed spending plan. And now there's attention on IRS workers who actually pack heat. It started as criticism from some Republican leaders that the tax collecting agency would bring on 87,000 new employees to target regular, everyday Americans, with the $80 billion earmarked for the IRS in the Democrats' Inflation Reduction Act. Told you got to laugh every time I say that. Which looks poised to become law. That's a misleading claim, according to the Associated Press. Now there's an online stir over job posting for IRS special agents who have to carry guns as part of their work with the IRS's Criminal Investigation Division. Though the job is really about sniffing out income and accounting irregularities to build legal cases, one of the potential duties is conducting or participating in surveillance, armed escorts, dignity protection, undercover operations, execution of search and arrest warrants, seizures, etc., the job listing states. There are over 300 vacancies for the role, which pays between $50,000 and $89,000 annually, according to the listing. Though the job listing drew new attention this week, requiring some IRS special agents to potentially use deadly force is nothing new, an IRS criminal investigation spokeswoman confirmed. The job description is consistent with previous special agent announcements for the same position and consistent with announcements from other federal law enforcement agencies, the spokeswoman said, noting that IRS Criminal Investigation Division is the federal government's sixth largest law enforcement agency. Yeah, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. Right? Unbelievable. You got FBI, you got the ATF, you got, go down the list of law enforcement agencies. And here's some context to the special agent listing and the broader debate over more funding for the IRS. As a starting point, the estimate of the IRS brings bringing on 87,000 new employees comes from the Treasury Department last year, the AP noted. It would be a multi-year hiring plan. It would, well, they got funding for 10,000 new employees at the beginning of this year, and they haven't been able to hire the 10,000. It's going to take a long time to find that many new people, and then to train them to audit. It's not like you can just step into that position. And I was watching something or reading another piece about an IRS agent who saying, you have to get these people in, you have to get them trained, and you have to put them up. And when you start, you have to start with people smaller cases. You don't start with the $1 million cases or the big corporations. You start with normal people at $75,000 or less. And then maybe after a while you could graduate to $200,000 or more, and then then go, if you can, get to the larger cases. But that's going to take 5 to 7 years to get there, according to this IRS agent. IRS ranks have been shrinking over the years. The IRS's annual data book shows that in the last fiscal year, it had 79,000 full-time workers, nearly a 13% decrease from the fiscal year 2012. Okay, and I've talked about this many times, and I'm just going to mention it. The height of the IRS jobs was in 1995. They had 114,000 employees. Of those 114,000, about 25% were in the data processing or return processing division. There was a division of it. There was a line item in their budget for return processing, and again, that was about 25% of the people that the IRS had on staff were for processing tax returns. Well, according to the latest numbers I saw, 95% of all tax returns this last year were filed electronically. So a quarter of those people are no longer really needed. And so if you subtract the 25%, which is roughly 30,000 people, you get down to about 80,000, about where they are right now. And again, there's a lot of other jobs that have been automated that don't require the same amount of numbers of people as it used to do. So this is a very, in my opinion, it's a deceptive number. The data is deceptive in the way that they say it. Well, see, in 2012 we're down 13%. There's more people now. We should have at least that many more people. Well, again, in 2012, how many? I think it was 77% or something like that were filed electronically in 2012, and every year it's improved. Data show the Criminal Investigation Division is a sliver of the IRS's overall workforce. The agency's Criminal Investigation Division includes approximately 3,000 employees, with 2,100 being sworn agents. As the agency's workforce has decreased, so did the IRS's audit rate among taxpayers of all income levels. Government data shows the decrease is especially sharp for higher earners, because those are the most expensive audits, because you generally have professionals on the other side. And you're talking about very complicated tax returns. More than half of the $80 billion in supplemental funding in the Inflation Reduction Act, see, there it goes again, I have to laugh, which would be earmarked for more complex or more tax compliance enforcement. Biden administration officials, including Yellen and the IRS commissioner, have pledged that the extra enforcement will not be directed at small businesses and households making less than $400,000. I did a podcast, I think last week, called Promises. Yeah, they make these promises, but there's no way they can keep those promises. And let's face it, by the time they get people auditing, these two will be long gone, Yellen and the IRS commissioner. They won't be in those jobs anymore. It's going to take some years before they can hire that many people and increase the number of audits. Contrary to the misinformation from opponents of this legislation, small businesses or households earning $400,000 or less will not see an increase in the chances that they are audited. 3/4 of voters say they are not personally worried about getting audited if the IRS gets its funded influx. Three-quarters of people don't have to worry about getting audited, really, right? They're W-2 employees and they overpay on their taxes anyway, in my opinion. More than half, 56% said that they were not worried about more audits generally. If the Inflation Reduction Act, there it is again, is passed by the U.S. House of Representatives in the Friday vote and signed by President Joe Biden, the IRS later has to explain its spending plan to lawmakers, tax experts say, and some worry there's still too few resources being devoted to helping regular taxpayers with questions. Well, that's absolutely true. This money's not going there, and it's not going to go to higher. They're not going to answer more phone calls. Let's put it that way. The $80 billion over a decade would be on top of the annual budget appropriations for the agency. The debate over the funding is heated, with some observers saying that the IRS needs every cent, and others saying it needs no extra money. Do you believe that if the IRS gets an extra $80 billion, that they'll say, "Oh, that's enough. We don't need any more money"? No, they'll still be coming back every year and wanting more money every year. For instance, Mark Everson, former IRS commissioner during George Bush administration, says the agency needs more money, but not at this magnitude. Extra inflation-adjusted appropriations, about 3% to 5%, are a better bet for manageable growth. And I agree with him there. Maybe. The IRS needs to proceed extremely carefully as it ramps up, he said, later adding, they've got to get the right people. That holds true just as much within the Criminal Investigation Division, he noted. The division itself is a relatively small part of the agency, but it's very important both in terms of the role it plays for criminal tax problems and in support of other violations of law, including terrorism and corporate fraud. IRS Criminal Division officials have to be involved in law enforcement efforts because financial information is frequently an important element of federal criminal investigations. They play an essential role. The scandals in criminal cases surrounding WorldCom and Enron were two instances when the division played an instrumental role, Everson said. More recently, the IRS's criminal division was involved in the 2013 takedown of the Silk Road, an underground website for drugs and illegal services fueled by Bitcoin. During the fiscal year 2021, the IRS completed almost 2,800 criminal investigations, with most resulting in referrals to prosecution. That included more than 1,000 cases related to tax crimes like evasion, 979 financial crime cases, including money laundering, and 735 drug-related financial crimes. The long view shows a drain on the Criminal Investigation Division as well. In fiscal year 2011, the division completed nearly 4,700 investigations, according to the IRS data. Okay, and now one more story here. I just wanted to kind of maybe we'll just read the IRS. The IRS deletes job posting seeking applicants willing to use deadly force. And this is in the National Review, and this just came out today, August 10th. Oh, I guess it was yesterday. So is it true that they're still? I don't know. I tried to go there today, as I mentioned, and I could not get there. So not sure if it's up or not now. When you see it, check it. I think it's jobs.irs.com or .gov. I'm sorry, jobs.irs.gov, and that whole site had been taken down. So again, I don't know. They might have to change it. I know they have other jobs available too. So anyway, that's what we're going on today. So I thought it was interesting. People don't understand, that the IRS has a army, not only of auditors, but of an actual army of law enforcement that carries guns and all the everything that goes along, military style tactical weapons. I bet. So anyway, that's going. So thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you taking the time. Remember, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We need your help to get this information out. So like and subscribe our content. And remember, if you or someone you know have not filed their tax returns in some time, or maybe having a problem with the IRS, first, and what happens when you do this, people get paralyzed. They don't know what to do. If that's you, you don't know what to do. Here's a little advice. Here's the first thing you should do. Get a copy of my book. Don't deal with your IRS problem today. Go to freeirsbook.com, freeirsbook.com. Get your free copy of Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. We will ask for shipping and handling, small shipping and handling charge, but the book is free, and all of the bonuses that go along with it are also free. So go to freeirsbook.com and get your copy of deal with your IRS problem today. So thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll see you. Now, tomorrow I'm going to have Attorney Howard. He's a cannabis attorney. He's going to be on tomorrow. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow around 2 o'clock. So go to watchtalkradio.com or anywhere you're watching today. It'll be streamed there too. So you can always go to watchtalkradio.com and find a previous episode. They're all there, or YouTube. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you maybe tomorrow. Out.